Now, as we cover the economy this morning, student loans set to double at the end of the month unless Congress acts. And joining us now with more on an effort to prevent those loan hikes is Rhode Island Congressman David Cicilline. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
All right, so the clock is ticking here.
Absolutely. July 1st, student loan interest rates will double from 3.4% to 6.8%, which will be devastating for many students and many Rhode Island families. There is legislation to prevent that from happening. I've co-sponsored it in the House. We have been unable to force this bill to the floor for a vote. The Republican House leadership will not bring the bill to the floor. So we're now engaged in what's called a discharge petition, where if we get a majority of the members of the House to sign the petition, it forces the bill out of committee onto the floor. It would freeze the interest rates for 2 years while we figure out a long-term answer, but we've got to prevent interest rates from doubling.
So remind our viewers why it was even set to double in the first place.
Yeah, it was originally set higher. It was cut in half before I got to Congress, and then now we've been engaged in a series of efforts to keep it at 3.4. The truth is, even 3.4% is too high. What we should be looking at is a permanent solution that will either just cover the cost of the loan program or use the lowest rates that are available to the biggest banks. We shouldn't be making money on interest rates from students who are pursuing higher education.
All right, so what do you think is the likelihood of getting that procedure done that you mentioned?
Well, last time, the only reason the Congress finally did because young people became very engaged in this. So we're fighting hard, but we need young people all across the country to be reaching out to their members of Congress, demanding that we take action. Families are facing very, very serious financial difficulties in this recovery, and interest rates doubling on student loans would be terrible.
I would imagine, though, now that these college students are actually out of session and they're during summer break, it's probably harder to rally the troops, wouldn't you say?
Well, except there's lots of students lots of former students who have still paying their student loans.
That's true.
Who are working and trying to make ends meet, and families that will be impacted by a rate increase. So it's not just the current students, it's people who are thinking about going to school, it's people who have graduated, but we shouldn't be making a profit on what we want to encourage as many young people as possible to go to higher education, pursue their dreams, and we shouldn't be making money on them.
All right, before we let you go, let's talk about this NSA surveillance leak situation. Your thoughts on what is ongoing with this right now?
I think this is a very serious issue, and I think we have got to figure out how we strike the right balance. I think we can do both things, keep our citizens safe and keep America safe and honor our values as a country and honor our Constitution. And I think we have to be sure that we are doing both things. These seem overly broad and seem to be a vast collection of information that may not strike the right balance. And I think we need to look at these programs very, very thoroughly.
All right, so again, July 1st is our deadline here for the students.
And we have got to make sure this doesn't happen for the sake of Rhode Island students and students all across our country.
All right, I'm sure we'll get an update from you. Thank you, Congressman, for joining us. We appreciate it. And for more information on that Student Loan Relief Act, you can head to our website, foxprovidence.com. Your time now is 8:39.